Hey everyone, this is Justin Baker again. I want to do a quick video about shot shell loading and specifically charge bars. So most of us who've ever grown up into some form of reloading or have gotten into the sport of it, as you could say, have come across a Mech 600 Junior. They're everywhere. I've had dozens, and they're very versatile and extremely easy to use reloader. Most of mine here are pre-83 models, so they outdate me. So they're very good machines. They're not your Pontius Warren, but they're also actually affordable for everyone to use. So one of the things you run into with any type of loader is changing your load. So changing the amount of powder you're using, changing the amount of shot you're loading. And on the shot shell side of that is a pretty easy thing to do because you can change your components, i.e. your powder or your wad, and you can change those items. But what you run into on almost every loader, and the reason why I chose Mechs because it's probably the most widely used and what I use, is you have to do a lot of different things to the loader to do that. And the main thing you have to do is change your charge bar. So I'm gonna go do a little bit of history about charge bars, and then I'll explain a new product I'm really excited about that Ballistic Products sent me. That's basically a really, really good version of the adjustable charge bar, the universal charge bar. So taking it way back, so forever and ever ago, this is a charge bar. So one of these charge bars, when you slide over, will drop powder, the other will drop shot. This is a non-adjustable, there's no bushings, there's essentially, this is a 410 one, it's really, really old. But essentially, you would have a little chart and it would tell you, hey, you could use these 2 or 3 powders and this amount of shot and this gauge, and you'll get within 100 feet per second, you'll get 1100 feet per second, half-ounce load. And they're not as consistent, depending on humidity, depending on altitude, all kinds of things. You know, how clean this is, it can drop different amounts. So this is what was used forever and ever. One of the next things that came out with is also a fixed charge bar on the shot side, is a bushing charge bar. So this is a little different. So because of the problems I just mentioned, powder drops different amounts. You can have a machine set up to throw 31 grains of long shot and come back 2 months later and it throws 28 grains. And so you always have to check it, but at least you didn't have to buy a new charge bar. Charge bars are about 20 bucks. So if you had, this is a 302 1 ounce. So this is for 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 28 gauge, whatever, 16 gauge. It's a 1 ounce on the shot size. And then, of course, depending on the powder and the gauge you're loading, you can change these bushings. These bushings are $5 to $7 a piece. So you can automatically see how if you are a hunter and a trap shooter, you may have to have several different charge bars. When I say several, you could be like me and have $200 for the charge bars retail. And just to do different things, if you load steel, it's lighter and it may not suit your needs. You have to get a different charge bar. You may shoot bismuth. You may want to shoot 1 ounce and then turn around and shoot 1.25 ounces for rabbit or squirrel or pheasant. And so you still have to have a bunch of these, but at least they were more versatile. So that's the second thing to come out. And then there were some people that actually would get this machined like this side, and you could use bushings on either side. So these were things that are done. I have a bunch of these. They work great. There's nothing wrong with them. But luckily, I've come across them in estate sales that I have a bunch of these. But if I had to buy all these at 20 bucks a pop, it's not very cost effective. And so one of the benefits of the next bar I'm going to talk about is the adjustability. It's meant to be a bar that works no matter what for multiple types of alloy. It can be the only bar you ever have. Okay, so this is an old bar. This is a very old one, but this is a universal charge bar. And so basically, if you can see that, this is an adjustable charge bar. These have been around forever. I have 2 or 3 of them. I don't even know how old this one is. This was a hand-me-down off of a load off a Mech someone gave me out of their grandfather's garage. I've loaded a lot of rounds through it. So essentially the way it works is you have these knobs, and you have a booklet that you can download, and it will tell you if you're shooting for this amount of powder and this amount of shot, you adjust using these hash marks right here. And then there's also adjustments here and essentially you open and close the charge bar. And it can basically really dial you in. So you could load 20 gauge 1 ounce, and then you could turn around and load 1 1/4 ounce 12 gauge and another type of alloy or whatever, and it's very versatile. So it's a really good thing to have, and there's lots of benefits of this. These are not perfect. They are quirky. There's a small set screw here that is near impossible to find. I've tried to order the right size 5 times, but this helps lock this in. Those are something that are really hard to find on these, but that's a locking mechanism to make sure it stays accurate. As you can see, this is not a solid piece. This is a cast. So if you're familiar with any type of manufacturing, cast is obviously really inexpensive to make, and it's decent. But what happens if you trip over something, or you have a cumbersome box and you drop it? This can break. And although it's not super likely, you've got a workbench most likely, and there's always something around that's harder than this. So these aren't as durable, and the tolerances aren't great. These bars slide perfect. Okay, they're made of, like, I'm assuming, billet aluminum. They slide through a mech action very well, and these sometimes don't. Okay, they also get dirty. One thing you'll see here's the behind. This is essentially, it's on a threaded shaft that it turns it and opens it up. You can also see right here, there's a retainer, which helps keep that there. It's a pain kind of to get out, and they also can break, and good luck finding one of those that breaks if you really had to strip this thing down. But overall, this is a big improvement as far as versatility. There really is nothing like it really on the market until now. And so that's why I wanted to make the video. I'm really excited to show you the difference between these bars. They are similar, but essentially what Ballistic Products has done is taken quality into consideration and has made a bar very similar to this, but it's much stronger, has better tolerances, and also it's more serviceable and just all around better made. And it's at a very, very comparable price. They're doing pre-orders of them for $69, which is what this essentially retails for. So let's look at, and these are not out, so thank you, Grant at BPI, for sending this to me so I can try it out, and then also show you, and I'll tell you why I like it more, straight out of the box without even using it. So this is the all-new Adjusta-Drop. Ballistic Products has been working on this for, Grant, how long has it been? Probably over a year. And this is a very well-made shot bar. So a couple of things I like more about it. One, it's anodized, it's billet. You can automatically tell the difference. Look how much cleaner that is. It's a lot less room for things to get messed up, room for dirt and gunpowder and grime, stuff like that go in. And it's also made of billet, which means it's stronger, and it's just all more, I guess you'd say it's just higher quality. So a couple of things I like more on this bar, automatically looking at, is the first thing is going to be these adjustable dials on the end. You may see that. I don't know if you can see that or not. But essentially, the adjustments are, hold on, if you can see that. You can kind of see the number right there. But essentially, the adjustments are actually etched into the dial. I like that considerably more because on these, they use a piece of tape. And if you slide this over on a single stage, thousands of time and gunpowder and maybe some type of lubricant or penetrating oil gets on it, these stickers come off. So once those come off, it's a lot harder to recreate your load. You can still manually weigh it out, but overall, it's just something that it's cheap. It's some way they save money, and it can become a problem. I've got a brand new shot bar on my Progressive, and this is a problem that it has. So that's the first thing that I like more. This is never going to change, the adjustments on here. It also has set screw. It comes with an Allen wrench. It looks to be a more generic size. I have not lost one, so hopefully I never lose it, but it does come with an Allen wrench. Essentially, once you get this like you want it, you take your Allen wrench and you tighten this down. It cannot change. So that helps a lot, especially if you're loading a lot of rounds, because you will be sliding this over from here. So if it's loose, it'll make a lot of small minor adjustments over time, and before you know it, you're completely off your load and your crimps are off, or you've overcharged either powder or shot. This is completely made in the USA. I think that's really important now. I'm not 100% sure where this thing is made. They don't really make them anymore. I know it's a US patent. It's made in Canada, so it's our neighbors, but in 2020, small business, made in the USA, I think that's an awesome feature. So I really like this bar. Other thing is, it's also got marks on it right here. Now, I'm sure Ballistic Products will send out data just like this one to tell you where to adjust it, even though it's not necessary, it's faster, but this is a preliminary bar. I think there's only 4 of these bars in existence right now that they sent me to try out. Another thing I like, and this is the older styled bar, so it does not have this, but the new ones do. This is also a nice feature. It's a removable section right here, and essentially what this section does is when shot is in the bar, when it slides across here, sometimes it'll pinch shot. So when you're shooting soft things like lead and also bismuth, what'll happen is that'll pinch and it'll either stick in the machine or it won't let you adjust the shot bar over. So essentially this little bushing right here is actually very hard, but it's soft also. It's softer than the alloy, and it gives it a little give. So that way when you're sliding your bar over, it doesn't catch as bad. And the newer style adjustable universal adjustable charge bars do have that as a feature. But this one has it as well, which I think is a good thing for them to adopt. But overall, this is a very nice charge bar. I'm really excited to use it, and I will definitely post some follow-up videos of that. But I essentially just wanted to show you the difference. I'll give you one more little quick turnaround and mention one more item. So essentially, this is not die cast. This is billet. This is die cast, as you can see. It's gonna make it more brittle. The tolerances aren't as good because it's made as a die cast and it's not machined. It's a little bit harder to work on if you were ever to take this apart to clean it or something like that. Those clips can be damaged. They're kind of hard. I just avoid that at all costs. It also has stickers here. Don't really like that. From a standpoint from wear and tear, those will come off, I promise. They'll come off, and you don't have to worry about this because it's etched in the knobs. As well as one thing I forgot to mention, look how much easier it is. You can use an Allen wrench. You can remove that. You can slide the bar apart, clean it if need be, or if a piece of shot or something got stuck in there. Crazy things that could happen. It's much easier to work on than the regular universal charge bar. So for the same price, which I'm not sure they make these anymore, but if you can find them, this is very comparable. It is a much higher product. It's made in the USA, and I'm stoked to get to use it. So I'll post some videos later showing those. I just want to do a quick first reaction on it. I'm really excited about this. I think it's a really good product, and I can't wait to try it out. And I will definitely use it on some bismuth this year. So we'll see what happens. And I'll try to also post some data on how small of a load you can get with it. You know, what side, how much shot, what ranges in lead can it go to? And just looking at it already, it looks actually like it can go down further. You see the little small slot. It can go less than ½ an ounce, which is really good for those who may use tungsten or any other type of heavier than lead alloy who use sub gauges. So I'll actually test that out, and I'll let you know what the tolerance is on it. But overall, it's very, very well made, and you can just pick it up and tell. So thanks for watching my video. I'll post some more videos of me actually using the bar, and I appreciate your time. You have a great day.